Oh, look, new player, let's give warning shot. You still disrespect me? You disrespect me, I teach you a lesson. First I take your gun breach, in good old top tier fashion, and then, in good old Russian fashion, I delete you with APHE. Da, tovarish. There, welcome to top tier. I'm not sorry for that impression, tovarish. Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. It was your mistake to click on the video in the first place. There, I said it. It's your fault. In other news, I'm driving here a nice Russian tank that I really like. The Object 685, but I had a little bit of bad luck in this tank. Now, what is the main selling feature of this tank? It is one of the, if not the highest tanks that actually features APHE. I absolutely love it, okay? And here we are on Karelia, so I try to flank and I try to make the tank work. You see, at the end of the day, it's a light tank, so I can drop artillery, I can scout the enemy, I can smoke up, I can help enemy teammates to repair if they are in a squadron with me or not, or in an auto squad rather, or not, doesn't really matter. So this is why I like light tanks. This tank in particular has one feature that makes it stand out from the crowd at top tier, and that is APHE. It's so simple, it's so nice, and you can just do Maximus Deletus to any other tank, and especially versus those high tier main battle tanks, they have so weak side armor, and you don't have the frustration of your shell just not hitting the right pixel or not, and you have a little bit of lag. You know, it's a bit more forgiving, but from the front, you know, you have to obviously aim much more careful. But APHE, for my playstyle, it's just so much more rewarding. It's simple, it works, and this is what makes War Thunder great for me. Outplaying, outmaneuvering, outpositioning enemy tanks, and then just punishing them. Quick and easy, and not with them having a chance to retaliate and to just survive a shot, or I have to reload, then something else kills me, and you then have to drive again through the open for 5 minutes before you go into close combat melee range anyway. Here though, APHE has its limitations. Yes, I killed the Begleitpanzer, but something else still captured that point, and I'm really desperate to find out where it is. The player in the Begleitpanzer 57 leaves now the destroyed vehicle in just a moment, and I'm just curious, what else is there that captured it? And I'm not quite sure, no, that's a tank, right? So I hit the transmission and APHE doesn't go through. Even the most powerful APHE doesn't go really through transmission reliable. So I switched to APFSDS, which should do the job, but again, it gets eaten up. So I have to aim again a bit higher, and then we go through the entirety of the tank, and obviously it was a VT-12. And just when I wanted to get the hell out of there, a helicopter happened. And that kind of is the bane of this tank. You try to go into position early game, you try to win the flanking battle, no matter where you try to be safe from helicopters, but also from enemy spotting. There is always this pesky helicopter. If you're sitting in a bush, it doesn't matter. They find you, they kill you, they ruin your game experience. Especially, it's so annoying that they are there early on. You spot another helicopter, you try to warn your team, you just capped the point, you listened around, you looked around, but you just didn't see that one guy up until the point that the ATGM is on its way. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. And that is one of those reasons where you get reminded pretty quickly, even if you haven't played top tier in about a month or so, why I don't enjoy it. Because it is just crap. It's just not fun. And it's very punishing. Only a handful of players that just don't care about anything except, you know, they're fun, which then kind of take out the best vehicles that there are or know how to master them. Well, they just ruin the fun for everybody else. And I hate this. That's my opinion. This is not a rant, that's just the common experience. A great many games were ruined at the end of the day by a helicopter. And I don't then go into a plane. I just leave the match. I'm pissed off. Now, I know who else will be pissed off right now. This is one of the best plays that I had. Just watch what I do. I saw that the enemy was going into the ditch. My plan was to bypass A on the other side. Then I wanted to go to the ditch itself. But now I see that somebody else also has this idea. And I have the sneaky suspicion that I know what it is. Again, first shell type is APCBC, aka APHE, and it is good enough for what I have planned. So I just observe, I scout, I am careful, I watch what is the enemy doing, do they notice me. The rate of fire is suspiciously high, so I guess I know what it is. And again, I think to myself, well, let's bypass them, alright? And if they are good players, they hear me, I'm close enough. So here, can I spot this guy? No, he retreated and hello. German premium tank players. Like every else's nation's premium players. Some of them are special. Okay, damn, this guy actually has noticed me. Okay, what can I do? Can I risk the shot? What should I do? Should I trick him? No, that doesn't work versus this tank. Can I go forwards? No, but at least I'm in safety. And there is this one old trick that I know. Drop RT on them to confuse them. Then I get a bit impatient, so let's play aggressively. And watch this. I put up the smoke. The last movement that he saw was me in reverse. He goes forward. Due to him being a tank destroyer, he had no chance. Straight through the front, and I have all time in the world to make that shot. Now I use here actually the exhaust smoke system to cover my rear. If somebody would just enter the ditch, I would make sure that this shell hits as well. And so that is some nice kills, right? I love it. I love it. It was my play. I outplayed them. I got rewarded by choosing the right shell type, using it versus the right position on the enemy tank, versus the right spot. And yeah, I probably could have killed them with APFSDS as well, but better safe than sorry. It's just a good field tank. Now, the mobility is okay-ish, 70 kilometers per hour top speed, but most of the time you are driving around just under 50. The reverse speed is usable, neutral steering. It's a bit heavy and sluggish for a horsepower to ton ratio of roughly around 25-ish. And again, that is a problem of this tank, because it's not outstandingly fast. It's by no means slow, but it's a light tank. You know, one of the selling points of light tanks should be that they have an advantage in mobility. So then we have this next customer, and I think to myself, well, what should I do? Can I scout him? My artillery strike is still on cooldown. Oh, nice thing, Gaijin. I can again scout through buildings. Well done. It's yeah, working as intended. Well, it's not to my damage. So, oh, is that a spot that I find? Hello. And again, APHE just simply does the job. Reliable as always. But there is always this one factor of bad luck. This one factor that haunts me when playing this tank. It's not just helicopters. If you're too good, there is this other balancing factor that you have no control over. Not planes, no. Guess it. Your own teammates. Could have been so beautiful. And now, the last tank battle that I want to show you for today is again in the Soviet Object 685. And I am a German tanker in a Soviet light tank attacking a Polish village from the east. The memes really write themselves right now. But in all honesty, it was one hell of a lucky battle, and you'll see how. And yeah, it was just again an arrangement of a bit of a bad luck. Again, notice here how much ammunition I take with this tank. 15 rounds of APHE looks a bit like overkill, and also 12 rounds of AP-FSTS. You could make the argument, if you don't have the ultimate shell type, then you're always at a disadvantage because you have the wrong shell type loaded when it matters. Like for instance, in this case, Leopard 2K, and I bounce off his lower plate. Unlucky, but very lucky that I actually don't get killed by his shot. So I'll take that. Another shell narrowly misses me, and I'm like, wow, I'm really lucky today. Let's not really try to push it, because, you know, the second you try to rely on your luck, gaijin things happen. Yeah, I see this light post fall over from the other side, so either somebody has shot it or somebody drove against it. So I'm not quite sure if there is some enemy Russia trying to infiltrate our lines very aggressively, so I better make sure that this doesn't happen. Now I think to myself, okay, that's not gonna happen. When I look at the minimap, the enemy retreats right at the moment when I push. Very good. And here I try to support this challenger by, you know, being helped to him. Teamwork at the right moment. And there is this one location. Oh, that was again very lucky, bouncing here what looks like an OF40 MTCA's return shot, while he also absorbed mine. So that was then skill. Leopard 2F5 showing me broadside, and this tank just doesn't show any mercy. And that is so relaxing, you know, because it's reliable. It's just you having the right aim at the side of an enemy tank by outmaneuvering them, and you get rewarded, instead of, you know, you miss the pixel that would have gotten you the kill, or the fragmentation is relying on RNG. No. This tank then just simply blaps the enemy if they don't really play by the rules and they show you broadside. And I think that's exactly what I love about War Thunder. You know, you outplay the enemy, you blap them. And here I am in the optimal situation. A is not contested by either team. And hello there. I hope it stays that way for quite a bit longer, because the enemies don't really expect somebody to camp right there. I am not quite sure if you hear it here on the video or in the video, but right next to me you hear a lot of engine noises, and I just casually drop an artillery strike there. There are some teammates behind me, so I don't expect... Oh, yeah, well, there actually was an enemy tank. Top tier players, you know, they should look around the corner, because the basic street rules apply to everybody. Doesn't really matter how good your tank is. And this funny again, hilarious. I think I could shoot him, but I miss aim, and I think that I'm dead. But again, one of my teammates is coming in at handy, serving as gun food for this guy. I'm not quite sure what happened. He turns his barrel, I take that gift, and I take out his gun barrel. So I pulled his teeth. So now my team can attack him, and he has to retreat. I thought that I would hear engine noises, you know, coming around the corner behind me. So I smoked up. I used the ESS, and so it's rather unlikely that somebody would do to me what I just did to this KPZ-70. This is Frontline camping. Yes, I'm camping. Oh, that was a bad shot. And again, I thought I would be dead, but this guy just doesn't shoot. So, okay, I take that kill. Another nice kill, right? And so I thought I would help here my team greatly, but winning is not good enough for the rest of my team. They need to win harder. They need to push right into the enemy instead of taking defensive positions, you know, all around the map. No, they push through the middle, and this is kind of this brain dead top tier gameplay, you know, that I don't really like. There is not really the depth in terms of tactics and analyzing the situations. A lot of people are okay with this high tier Call of Duty playstyle. I'm not. I see that this KPZ-70 is tracked. He maneuvers in such a way that he actually hides the rest of his tank behind the building. That's fine by me. No other tank is around. It would be stupid to push, so I just simply put an artillery strike on him. Another advantage that you can see is that there is no big engine deck or heightened engine deck, so I can point my gun straight over the engine deck and can go for both forwards and backwards and still can use the gun. Yes, then it has less gun depression. I think it's like -1, probably 0 degrees of gun depression, but it's better than pointing upwards in the sky. The artillery strike in fact hits him, and this guy again doesn't see me. He's probably listening to Sabaton. There is nothing wrong with listening to Sabaton, but he didn't see me. I angled just in time versus the 20mm, and I actually knocked out his gunner. Out of the people in this tank with the side shot with APHE, I don't get the kill, but I kill the only guy that really matters, the gunner. Refreshing that it also happens to other teams' players once in a while and not just only me. Isn't that how it usually happens? It sometimes feels like it's hard-coded in there. Okay, so A is still not contested even though we have the area secured. Gepard is shooting down on IL-28. Leopard 2K is killing a TA2U, so my teammates are literally dying like flies. And I think to myself, well, I have to support them, but look at my ammunition. I only have, what, 2 shells left. And while the majority of them are made work, I am down to 2 APHE shells. And as good and amazing as APFSDS is, this is not the most powerful APFSDS shell that there is. It's practically the same APHE, HeatFS and APFSDS round that you get on the T55AM1, the premium Soviet tank at 8.7. But you don't get the ATGM, which would be nice versus helicopters, which again are now flying around. And I put myself into a defensive ambush position, but yeah, then I see that my team members are under some sort of trouble and fire, and so I hear that there is a tank right behind this building, and I would gamble on the thought that he would pass by and I would just kill him with another APHE shell right into the side. After 6 kills, come on, I have to help my teammates here. Come on, move. And so the first and only time in this match where I try to make a move to support my team, bad luck strikes. My teammates have killed the aggressor. I look behind me and yeah, I don't see here anything in front of me, and I look behind me and god damn it. And yeah, the first shell detonated my ammo rack. Oof. Yeah, so this is now a not in-depth analysis of the Object 685. It is like a little bit of an oversized Object 906, bigger gun, not really that outstanding in terms of reload. We have 6 seconds instead of 4.3 or something like this. We have only 4 degrees of gun depression. Turret rotation speed is slow. The horsepower to ton ratio is something around 25, so you cannot really compete with the enemy main battle tanks. But the selling factor for me is that this is one of the highest, if not the highest tanks that actually has APHE, which is always nice to use versus main battle tanks. So that's it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, especially the commentary on the last battle. Let me know how you thought about this, if you enjoyed this, and as usual, if you like this video in general, give it a like. If you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves, in the skies, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.